Good morning. Forrest Smith is in here. Forrest, give me a 2x4 when you can hear me in the chat, because this thing takes a hot minute to catch up. Ground Fog was in here at 9:40 last night. That's about what time I set everything up. So, guys, welcome to Clickbait Coffee. It is Tuesday, December 23rd. Tomorrow is Christmas Eve. I hope everybody's ready. I've got everything ready to go. I bought all the presents and all that fun stuff. I went yesterday and bought the last thing that I had to buy. Everything is bought for my wife and everything is bought for my youngest son. I do have to get one other thing, but I'm going to take my oldest son with me and we're going to pick it out together at Home Depot. He wants some more tools. He's doing a little bit of contracting stuff. And so we're going to run to Home Depot probably after Christmas and get him a few things. We just ain't got time right now to do it. But the last thing I bought yesterday, Lincoln, my youngest one, I always buy a dad gift. So I always get him something that, happy Festivus, Forrest. But I always buy, I call it a dad gift because I would always go out and buy something that my wife would usually not buy for the kids. So I was talking to Lincoln. I was like, what do you want for your dad gift? He's like, I don't really know. So I started looking. I was like, I've got one of the Heritage Rough Rider 22 revolvers. And I was like, I'm going to buy one for him that's just his. So I ran over to Cabela's and I was looking. They were all out of the Heritage Rough Riders except for it was a 6.5-inch barrel one. And I'm like, man, I don't really want a 6.5-inch barrel for him. So they had a Ruger sitting right beside it, a Ruger 22. It was all solid black and it was like another $25. And I was like, heck, give me one of those. So I got him a really nice Ruger 22 and solid black, and he's going to absolutely love it. So it was like, I think it was like $220 or something like that. I'm like, man, that's a no-brainer. We'll get that for him. So my shopping is done except for my oldest one. And like I said, we'll run to Home Depot after Christmas and get a bunch of stuff. Newman, good morning from Virginia. And then Dana Russell's here. Yeah, Merry Christmas Eve, y'all. Or Merry Christmas Eve's Eve. We do everything. It's been a tradition, and the way we've always done it in my parents' house is we do most everything on Christmas Eve. Everybody would come over. My mom would fix country ham and biscuits and gravy and hash brown casserole. That's what she fixed for Christmas Eve. We would open all our presents on Christmas Eve because typically a lot of times Christmas morning we'd run to one of my grandparents, but all my grandparents are dead now, so we don't do that. But and then Santa Claus would come that night, so we would have some presents. The Santa presents would be Christmas morning. But so we're gonna go tomorrow to my mom's house. She's gonna fix gravy and biscuits, country ham. I'm excited about that because I don't eat that a whole lot. So we're going to have that and then do all our presents and everything. And then our church is doing, of course, it'll be Wednesday night. Church is doing a 6 o'clock service like usual. And then they're doing a 11:15 service. So we're going to go to the 11:15 service. And I think my mom's going to go with us. And then kind of the tradition that a lot of people do, there's a few friends of ours, we're going to run after that and go to Waffle House. So we're going to go at Waffle House at like 12:15 after service. And the kids absolutely love it. They think they're big time because, it's after midnight and we're out in town and eating dinner and all this kind of stuff. So that is what we're going to do tomorrow for Christmas Eve. And then Christmas Day, I think some people are coming over to our house and my wife is fixing. We used to do a big up-to-do. I mean, we would do standing rib roast, all kinds of stuff, but not a whole lot of people are going to be here Christmas Day. So my wife is like, I'm going to do some finger foods. She's fixing clam chowder and chili. So we're going to have clam chowder, chili, and then she's doing some finger foods and stuff like that. So it's going to be fun. And I have no idea what my wife got me for Christmas. So we've set my wife up, and I'll jump on that in a minute. Let me see. Newman says, tomorrow's my wedding anniversary. I never forget the day, but getting a dinner reservation is impossible on Christmas Eve. Newman, I can imagine that 100%. So, but happy wedding anniversary to you and your husband. I hope y'all have an awesome day and a super good wedding. I would just wait until after Christmas and go out and eat if it was me. Utah Mike, good morning. And Mike says it's crazy warm here. Yes, Mike, it is. It's, I mean, you never know in Kentucky. And I want to pull up the weather. You never know in Kentucky, like around Christmas, if you're going to have snow or if it's going to be like 70 degrees. Like right now, right now it's 55 outside with a little bit of, it's misting just a little bit. It's going to be 64 today, and then Christmas Eve and Christmas Day is going to be 64 and 65. And then Saturday is going to be 67. It's going to be like stupid weather. And Forrest, your church going to have live animals and people swinging from the wires like the mega churches? No, Forrest, we're not. I have seen videos of that. Like I saw one video, this mega church, like Santa was in his sleigh and he was coming up from the pulpit and like going above the crowd on these wires. And I'm like, what kind of bullshit is that? I was like, that's not church. That's like going to Circus Olay or something in Vegas. I'm like, I don't understand why these mega churches have all these big shows and stuff. It's like church is supposed to be about going and worshiping God, not going and having fireworks and bands and all these people flying in from the ceilings and all this crap. And I mean, it's like, why are we doing this? It's like you've gotten real super far away from what you're supposed to be doing. It's like, what's the deal with that? I mean, our church, we don't do any big theatrical stuff. Our church is, we've got three services on Sunday. We're averaging like 800 people. So it's not a mega church by any means, but they don't do these big theatrical productions and stuff like it. I mean, we've got a band, they call it the worship band, and, you know, guys are playing guitars and drums and that stuff, which is fine. But man, if I ever walked into a church and guys were coming in from the ceilings on wires and stuff, I'm like, we're leaving. This church is not what I want to be. It's like, we're not here for entertainment and fireworks and pyrotechnics. If I want that crap, I want to go to Vegas. So yes, if the church ever does that, I'm out and I'm going to a different one. Oh, where did it go? All right. Kent, good morning. Glad to see you in here. Newman, let me see. Forrest says, we're taking advantage of the good weather and going to barbecue on Christmas. That sounds pretty good. So I could go for some Boston butt or some brisket. That's for darn sure. Or heck, I like smoked chicken, like whole smoked chickens. Those are amazing. Dan Glover, good morning from Tennessee. Let me see. Newman says, YouTube chat fighting me. So many folks expect to be entertained in church. Yes, they do expect to be entertained in church. And it's like, you're supposed to go and sit there and fellowship with the people at church, talk to them, get to know those people, have fellowship with them. And then you're supposed to worship God. You're supposed to listen. Like I like, and personally with me at church, I could care less about the singing. I don't sing at church. I'm not a singing person. Yes, I will sit there and listen to it. That's great, but I'm not going to sing. I would much rather come in and listen to the preacher talk and do his sermon for the full hour instead of listening to people sing and all that kind of stuff. But yeah, church is not, you're not supposed to be entertained on it. It's sad to say that people can't sit for an hour and, you know, think about something and worship God. and stuff like that. It's always like you got to have lights and music and, you know, the video going and all this kind of stuff. It's like, man, people's attention span are just stupid if you can't sit somewhere for an hour and concentrate on something. Utah Mike, a lot of local choir for our church Christmas program. Yeah, we did. We did it today. The adults and the kids had a Christmas program for the choir. They sang all kinds of songs and did stuff like that. Man, that's totally awesome. But once you get, you know, people dropping in from the ceiling and riding on sleighs and stuff, it's like that is just not necessary. I'm all about, I mean, if the choir wants to do a whole Christmas program, let's do it. But let's not have Santa flying in from the ceiling. That's kind of, you know, knife hand cut that deal out. Newman says, whole smoked chicken is my plan on Christmas. Pulled chicken sandwiches. Now, I'm down with that. I could do some smoked chicken and pulled chicken sandwiches. I would eat the snot out of that. Dan says, I'm also not a singer and just there for the word and the fellowship. Yeah, it's funny. I will stand up in church and I sit there and I will read the words because they've got a screen that they put the words on. I will sit there and read the words, but man, I'm not going to sing anything. So Dan, I am right there with you. And somebody asked me one time, they're like, why don't you sing at church? And I was like, first off, nobody wants to hear my voice. And two, I just don't like to sing, but I will sit there and read all the words, but you're not going to hear me sing. But back on Christmas, my wife is going to be super stoked about what I got her. And she never listened to this. She gets enough of me without having to watch me on the interweb. So she's been wanting to do she's been wanting a 3D printer and to start. She does a lot of baking, does a lot of cookies and cakes and stuff like that. And people are taking 3D printers and printing out cookie cutters with them and doing all different types of cookie cutter stuff. So she had been talking about it, and she's like, one of these days I want to start a business making cookie cutters and selling them on the internet. So I talked to one of my friends. She knows about 3D printers, and she was like, get her this one. This one will work for what she wants to do. So I bought her a 3D printer. It's sitting down here in my office. And then she was like, I really need an iPad to do all the design work on and whatever program it is. So I called her mom and was like, hey, have you got all her Christmas stuff yet? And she was like, not everything. I was like, she needs an iPad. So I sent her mom an iPad, the one to go get. So her mom ran and got it. So we've essentially got most of her business stuff set up to where she can, you know, she's got her 3D printer. She's got her iPad to do all the design stuff and everything on. So she's going to absolutely freak out once she starts opening stuff on Christmas. And it was funny. Saturday we were talking about it, and she's like, "Yeah," she said, "probably this spring I'm going to get save up and get a 3D printer and do that and get everything." And she was asking me about the website and how to do all it. I was like, "Honey, I can do your website, get it going, and everything's fine." I was telling her how to do all the business stuff, and she was like, "All right." She's like, "Probably in the springtime I want to start looking in and doing some of that." So I'm like, "Hey." I'm just excited for her to open that and be like, holy cow, how did you pull this off? So she'll be excited. Greg New, good morning. And Bill's here. Good morning, Bill. And then Newman. A small group of us are gathering at my best friend's farm on a Shabbat and roast sausages over a campfire and read his word. That's my favorite way to church. That sounds like an awesome time. I mean, that sounds like a super fun way to church right there. I would be down for that 100%. And Bill says, I don't know about anyone else, but the weather this morning is amazingly warm. We woke up to 60 degrees. Bill, I just pulled it up. It's 55 here and going to be 64 today and 64 tomorrow and 65 on Christmas. And Utah Mike was saying it's unreasonably warm in Utah. So who knows? Just watch out. Weather like this is when stupid storms and tornadoes and stuff like that pop up. So just kind of watch out. And since Greg New is in here, I've got a new little section we're going to do on Tuesdays. And today is Tuesday, right? Yeah, today is Tuesday. All right. Today's Tuesday. I was doing some notes and stuff like that. And I was like, Tuesday. And I was like, let's do a little section called Tactical Tuesday. And I was talking to Greg about it. And he was like, this winter, I'm going to sit down. He's like, instead of buying more stuff and doing all this kind of stuff, he said, I'm going to sit down with all my guns and make sure they're kitted out exactly like how I want them. And he's like, he said, I've got some ARs that, they've got they've got optics on them, but I don't have any backup sights. He said, I just never went and did any backup sights on them. He's like, some of them need a sling on them. Some of them need a foregrip, stuff like that. And I was like, man, that is a really good idea. So he said, this winter, I'm going to start doing stuff like that. So Tactical Tuesday tip is don't buy any more guns. You've probably got enough guns right now, and I can't believe I'm saying that, but don't buy any more guns until you've got all your guns that you already owned kitted out and ready to go the way that they need to be set up. If you've got an AR-15 with an optic on it, do you have backup sights for that? If you don't, instead of buying a new gun, get your backup sights for it. Some backup irons and put on there, sight it in. If you don't have slings on all your rifles, get slings on your rifles. Yes, Greg, I know it's blasphemy, but it's don't buy anything else until you've got all the other ones kitted out. That is the full sentence. So, if you don't have slings on all your guns, get slings on all your rifles. Everything that you need to do for it, everything that you need to do for that gun to have it 100% kitted out and ready to go, get all that stuff ready. So I'm going to do that. I might do that over the weekend, grab all the rifles out and be like, and make a list of stuff I need to buy and do that and get them kitted out. And Forrest says, got sling. Cut V Farmer, good morning. And Bill says it's going to be 70 to 80 degrees on Christmas. That's just crazy. And Newman, that's an awesome gift for your wife. I'm planning to get one for hubby for his birthday. I will let you know how this one goes. This one was one, I got it off Amazon, but it was from the company store. And I don't know the exact brand of it. But it's supposed to be a good one. My friend, she knows about them. So she told me, she was like, this is the one to get. It'll do 4 different filament colors. And you don't have to change the filament. It'll automatically change where you can do multicolored stuff. It'll automatically change when it goes to a different color filament. So, Newman, give me a shout and I can send you all the stuff on that if you want to take a look at one. So, also, Shelly and I are going to be live tonight at 8 o'clock instead of tomorrow on Christmas Eve. We figured we'll just move it up a day because I'll be busy at my parents' house and then at church, and she's going to be busy doing some other stuff. So we'll be live tonight at 8 o'clock. And then also we have dates for the Shelly and I met yesterday. We've got a bunch of our stuff ready to go, dates for meetups and classes and stuff like that. I've got to talk to Brian and Susan today. It is on my list to do to get the radio class date pinned down with them. But we do have a homestead meetup that's going to be in Bowling Green. It's going to be in Bowling Green where we have the festival at the Expo Center. That's going to be January 31st. It's a Saturday. We're probably going to start at 9 o'clock in the morning. But Shelly's making the graphic for it. It'll be posted on the website hopefully this afternoon. But we're going to have a homestead meetup January 31st at the same place we have the festival at. Good morning, Greg Schemes. How's Mary Beth doing? Yeah, Forrest is on it. Don't forget to give a thumbs up on YouTube and Facebook. It helps that, and share the show out. If you share it out, it reaches more people. And then one of these days, we'll have like 100,000 people on here. Or we could just settle for 500. That'd be cool for now. Also, we've got the pig processing class. The date on it is March 21st. That's going to be in Bowling Green at my place. Shelly's working on all the graphics, so it'll be live pretty good. Or it'll be live on the website, hopefully by tomorrow, something like that. And then we've got a sheep processing class that's going to be at my house also. That's going to be April 11th. And then I've got to talk to, like I said, I got to talk to Brian and Susan and find out the date that they want to do the radio class. And we'll get all that up on the website soon. Greg says she goes back to the doctor today. Awesome. Let her know we're thinking about her. I read all her Facebook posts, and when she's saying what's going on and stuff like that, updates. Bill says, I got a lot of maintenance to do on my firearms. I got flooded with the family firearms for my mother sending me all of them that she had cleared back to my grandpa's scattergun. That's pretty cool. I've got all of my dad's old guns, all his shotguns and rifles that he had. And I still use them. My favorite one that he had was his 30-30. I've got that joker, and I've killed a bunch of deer with that gun. And Bill, isn't sheep processing a lot like a deer? Kinda, but kinda not. It kind of depends. The cuts are a little bit different. If you're cutting lamb chops, nobody cuts deer chops, you know. So it's kind of, sort of. I mean, they're going to skin out. I mean, pretty much a deer. The only thing that doesn't skin, if you can skin a deer, you can skin a lamb, and if you can skin, you know, a deer, you can skin a cow, or you can skin a goat. Pigs are different than anything else that you're going to skin. So it kind of is, and it's kind of not the same thing as a deer. There's some differences and stuff like that in it, but as far as skinning and eviscerating that, yeah, it's pretty much the same thing. So your cuts are just going to be different. And Dana says, count us in for the pig. All right, we will count you in for that. Yes, Dan, we have got the pig processing class is going to be March 21st, and that's going to be here in Bowling Green at my place. Shelly is getting the graphics up. She was making the graphics. She started on them last night, and once she gets the graphics done, I will have them up on the website. So I'll get it. Hopefully, I would like to get it up tonight sometime. If not, I might do it tomorrow morning. Bill says he needs to attend a couple of them. Hey, they are good classes. We always usually pack these full, and people learn a lot. It's all hands-on. I'm not these processing classes are not, hey, stand there and watch me cut up a pig or cut up a lamb. It's like, get your knife and come in here. I'm not going to do it for you. I will show you how to start and do the stuff, but I expect people to jump in and have a knife in their hands and start doing it. Because we did a sheep processing. Casey, Lawrence's wife, was here, and Greg and Mary Beth were here. And Casey was like, I don't know if I can do this. And Mary Beth was a little standoffish too. And I was like, y'all go grab your knives and come over here. So I had them grab their knives, and I showed them how to start skinning on the lamb. And I was like, hey, it's on you now. And I just kind of stood back, and they started going. They would ask a question every now and then, and they started skinning this lamb, and we're doing a darn good job of it. And they're like, holy cow, we didn't know that, you know, it was this simple to do it. Once you showed us how to do it, we knew. And they took care of skinning most of that lamb. We had to help them every now and then. Like when they got down to the shoulders, we showed them how to go around the shoulders and stuff like that. But they were like, hey, we can do this stuff. And it was like that light bulb went off in their head, and they had confidence that they could do this. And that's the reason that we like doing this stuff is to build the skills where people are like, man, we can do this thing. Dan, I will count you in. L2 Survive, good morning. We're talking about all kinds of fun stuff. 3D printers that I got my wife for a Christmas present. We're talking about Tactical Tuesday stuff, all our processing classes that we got coming up, and that kind of fun stuff. If it can't be hands-on, it's hard for me to learn. Bill, it is super hands-on. You will have your hands in every aspect of it. because we're going to show you that animal will be alive when you get there that morning, and it's going to wind up in VacMaster bags by the end of the day, ready to go in the freezer. So you're going to see every process of it, and you're going to have your hand in every process of it, except for the dispatching part. Technically, I will take care of it, but you'll still be able to see it. It's just kind of a liability on the dispatching part. Oh, and also don't forget, down at the bottom of the screen, bleeding control kits, bleed 15. That'll get you 15% off the bleeding control kits. These handy jokers. You can stick those in the glove box, center console, stick them in your backpack, stick them wherever, stick them in your toolbox, stick them in the desk drawer at work. Heck, if you've got a big enough toolbox on your tractor, stick one of those jokers in your tractor or stick one in your Bobcat. Keep it handy. Those things are 15% off with the code BLEED15. And then we've also got free shipping over $75. So check that out. That's at the website at KentuckySustainableLiving.com. All right. The topic. I was looking at some of this stuff. Let me see. L2 survive before we get in. I shot my own turkey this year. I waited for the perfect one, and then bam. I was so excited, but the people in the frozen food section, yeah. I have seen that in a thing I've seen that floating around on Facebook. I'm like, that's freaking hilarious. So I was like, I was totally giggling about that. I'm like, that is a good one there. Well, I was looking, and the way I came up with this topic was, my wife asked me, oh, what were we doing? We needed a bunch of solo cups for something. And my wife was like, hey, do we still have a bunch of solo cups? Let me grab this. Hold on a second. Give me just a second. All right. There's issues at my brother's house. Apparently, the plumber did not bring the supply line for the dishwasher. And my brother's like, the dishwasher needs a supply line. I'm like, have the plumber go get it. That's part of his job, to bring all his stuff that he needs for a job. So we're needing solo cups for something. And she's like, don't you have a bunch of solo cups downstairs? And I was like, yeah. So I went down. I was like, ooh, I'm running low on solo cups. So I was like, we need to stock up on some more solo cups and stuff like that. I was like, I'd been meaning to run to Sam's and get some. And I'm like, these everyday items, stuff that we count on, that we use all the time. It's like these everyday items are going to be critical stuff in an emergency. And, excuse me. All right. Problem solving. That's a thing that people need to do. It's like, there's no supply line. And the plumber's like, we need a supply line. Get in your truck and go get a damn supply line. That's part of your job. So it pisses me off when stuff like that happens. Pilgrim 420, good morning. Merry Christmas to you too. So, people think about all this special gear. They've got, thousands of dollars of tactical gear, stuff like that. But then like critical items that you use every day, you're looking solo cups, plastic forks, paper plates, batteries, all kinds of stuff like that. It's like those things are probably going to be more useful, and you're going to use those more than you're going to use all the tactical gear that you've got going on. So you already know how to use these everyday items, and you're using these everyday items all the time. You're using, you don't need training on it. You don't need instructions. You just need access to have these items. So it's like paper plates, stuff like that, paper towels, toilet paper, batteries, all kinds of stuff like that. So you're looking, one of the things is like, let's do water and sanitation on one of them. It's a morale killer too, is your hygiene. Critical items that you need for hygiene stuff every day. People are going to overlook that stuff. You know, they're like, hey, I've got a dozen ARs and a million rounds of ammo, but I forgot to get paper plates and I forgot to get some toilet paper. But probably a lot of us are still prepared from the big toilet paper shortage during the vid. So we might still be working on toilet paper on that. But critical everyday items on stuff like that, you're looking at like toilet paper, paper towels, baby wipes. Baby wipes are stinking amazing to have around. I don't have any babies anymore, but I go to Sam's and buy the big things of baby wipes. And I keep a pack or two of baby wipes in my truck all the time because there's nothing better like in the summertime. I mean, you've got dust, you've got sweat on you, your arms are nasty. You grab a few baby wipes and man, you can wipe your face and your hair down and wipe your arms down. And that is a stinking morale booster. It's like, man, I feel better already just doing that. Trash bags. Trash bags. What are you going to do with your trash? I mean, I know most people are like, oh my gosh, I'm down to my last trash bag. I've got to run to the store. It's like, stock more trash bags. You know, they're still relatively inexpensive. They're a lot cheaper than a plate carrier. So look at that. Dish soap and hand soap. I mean, how many people it's like, oh, I ran out of soap. And it's like, man, you don't have a bunch of soap already? Or hand soap, you know, hand soap, shampoo also. I mean, and another good skill on this is knowing how to make soap. You don't have to make soap all the time, but know how to make the soap. Have the ingredients. The ingredients will last a long time on the shelf. Know how to make your own soap, and then you don't have to buy all kinds of soap. Buckets. I don't think you can ever have too many 5-gallon buckets. Even, well, 5-gallon buckets and like the small 1 gallon and 2.5-gallon buckets. Those things are freaking, I mean, a bucket is like a all-purpose vehicle for all kinds of stuff. I mean, you can throw tools in it. You can carry water in it. I mean, you can carry feed in it, all kinds of stuff. A bucket is like the 4x4 of the farm kind of thing. You can do all kinds of stuff. And also, Cuck Bee Farmer says that ladies need their products, sanitary products for women. Yeah, that's in the list too. Another one is bleach. Make sure you've got enough bleach, or go ahead and get the shock, the pool shock, and know how to mix it up to make bleach. But make sure you don't keep pool shock in a metal container because it will eat that metal container like nobody's business. Keep it in a plastic container. So, and Bill says, I use my empty feed bags for trash bags. With 5 pigs and 2 dozen chickens, there's a never-ending supply of feed bags. Yeah, I mean, feed bags are awesome. And I'll tell you another thing you can do with feed bags, keep those jokers and you can fill them part of the way up, and then they're sandbags. And you can make a fighting position and have sandbags then. So fill them up with sand, fill them up with dirt. Don't fill them all the way up because then you're going to have to be a bad dude to carry those around. But if you fill them halfway up, there's sandbags, and you got your sandbags for free. And Pilgrim said the bleach tablets last a lot longer in liquid. Yes. I think I've read somewhere like bleach, after like 6 months, it loses a whole lot of its potency. So I like pool shock. I've got a ton of pool shock stored down in the shop. Just watch where you store it. And Newman, where's the best place to get lots of 5-gallon buckets with lids? Bestie was given 1,600 pounds of hard red wheat. Newman, if you're going to store it, if you're going to store the wheat in Mylar bags, then you don't have to worry about technically having food grade buckets. I get a ton of buckets. I buy a lot of paint from Sherwin-Williams. And if you're a good customer of Sherwin-Williams, you can usually get buckets pretty cheap, if not free, and you can get the lids with them too. So you might want to go check Sherwin-Williams and do a little finagling with them and see if they'll give you some buckets. If not, usually, you can get, I think they will still give you buckets at Sam's or Costco in the bakery because they buy all their icing in 5-gallon buckets. And it used to be they would give you the buckets, like, I think if you donated like $5 or something to one of their charity that they do, that they'll give you the buckets for that. Because I've gotten a bunch of buckets from Sam's and Costco before. So go check that out. Bill says they make great fire starters. I bet they do. And Bill says what I was saying. Any bakery, we usually have the 3-gallon buckets with lids. Yeah. And L2 survives on it too. The grocery stores, the old icing buckets. I will tell you, those icing buckets, if you do not have hot water, that stuff is a pain to clean out. You've almost got to have hot water to get the rest of that icing out. So keep that in mind. Yeah, Newman, just run by Sam's and Costco and check them out and see. And L2 survive. I got mine from Safeway with free lids with their things. Yeah, I've gotten a ton from Sam's too. All right, your everyday stuff for power and lighting. Everybody's got, everybody's like, well, I've got a new 10 kW generator and all this stuff, and I've got, I'm set and ready to go. Did you think about extension cords on that? That's an everyday thing that you're going to use. Yeah, you've got your generator sitting 30 feet from your house where you're not going to die of carbon monoxide poisoning, but then you're like, oh crap, how am I going to get power from the generator into my appliances and into my house? You've got to have extension cords. And along with the extension cords, you've got to have power strips. That extension cord is going to come in, and if you bought just a regular extension cord, it's got one end on it. You might have bought the better one where it's got a 3-way on the end, but hey, power strips. Look about your power strips. How are you going to distribute power through your whole house if you don't have a plug on the outside? I've got a plug on the outside of my house that I can plug the generator in, and it goes to special dedicated circuits in the house. And then if I need to too, I've also got tons of extension cords, just because being a contractor by nature, I've got cords stinking everywhere. So look at your extension cords, your power strips. Another thing, have a bunch of backup phone charging cables. I think I've got, I've got half a dozen backup cables sitting right here on my desk for stuff. I mean, I've got my iPad plugged in right now. Have some of those in there. Your phone charging cables, stuff to charge, all different, your tablets and all that kind of stuff. Battery packs, along with like your solar generator and stuff like that, like the small battery packs. Oh, I had one around here. I don't know what I did with it. I think I put it back where it was supposed to live. But even the small little battery packs to charge a cell phone and stuff like that, those things are amazing to have. I mean, we've got, I don't know, I've probably got a dozen of those things scattered in different bags and boxes and stuff like that. Have a bunch of those jokers. And then actually flashlights that actually work and that you'll actually use. Have a bunch of everyday flashlights. You can get, I don't have mine because I have not put all the stuff in my pants. They're like a knockoff stream light, like the little small stream light that's like the size of a permanent marker. They're about that size. I bought a 2-pack of those on Amazon for like $9, and the things are pretty stinking nice. I keep one in my front pocket, and I use the thing all the time. I'm on my second set of batteries. It takes AAA batteries. Man, I use that thing all the time. Buy a bunch of those. I mean, you're looking at like, $4.50 a piece, and the things have held up. I've been carrying mine for 6 to 8 months now and never had a problem with it. Does fine on batteries. I've also got the nice stream lights that are a lot more money, but those knockoff ones from Amazon are pretty stinking nice. So flashlights, and then have a ton of AA and AAA batteries. Have tons of those sitting around. I've got a lot of the in-loop batteries, which those are the rechargeable batteries. And then I've got a bunch of the pale blue earth. They're the pale blue earth batteries. They're like a micro USB or a USB-C. I'm not 100% sure. They're rechargeable. I like those things. I've got some of those in my truck. I've got those stashed in different bags and kits around the house and down in my office. Get those. And then also I'll tell you, one of the best bangs for the buck is the Amazon, like everyday batteries. It's the Amazon brand. You can buy those, I think, in packs of 100 and 200, and they're like stupid cheap for 100 or 200 batteries. So get those. I mean, you don't need a $5,000 solar setup to survive, you know, a blackout. You just don't need it. You need stuff that makes the power usable and a way just to get through some of the small stuff. And you can do some of the small stuff with AA batteries, with a solar generator, some of the smaller backup battery banks. You can get through stuff with that. And Newman says, I've got hot water now. Hot water heater went down, had to replace it. Home Depot wanted to charge $2,000 for an install. Hey, some of these plumbers are charging stupid amounts of money for putting in a hot water heater. And I'm like, hot water heaters are not that hard to put in. I mean, I've installed a lot of hot water heaters. I had just a few months ago, I came down in the basement and there's a little bit of water on the floor. One of the hoses, the supply hoses on my hot water heater had a small little bitty leak in it. I was like, man, this is no problem. I turned the water off so it wouldn't leak anymore. Ran to the supply house, got 2 new supply lines. I'm like, if I'm shutting everything down, I'm going to replace both supply lines on this thing. Literally pulled them off in a matter of 30 minutes and stuck new supply lines on, turned the water back on, checked for leaks, and it was all done. But yeah, some of these guys are charging stupid amounts of money for doing stuff like that. That's another thing. Skills on, you know, how to do stuff at your house, how to fix stuff at your house. If you've got skills on how to fix stuff at your house, it's stupid the amount of money that you can save. I mean, just small stuff like, what is it? There's a small part on our HVAC unit that had went out. It was a resistor that went out. So I called my buddy that's the HVAC guy, and he's like, yeah, he said, I've got some of those at the shop. I was like, cool. The part was like $16 or something, and they would have charged probably like $500 to come out and replace that thing. So I was like, cool, give me 2 of those. I know what it is now, and it's a matter of essentially taking 2 wires off and putting 2 wires back on. I'm like, this is crazy. So Lynn Dudley, good morning. And Newman says I am. Let me see. Bill says, I have an entire tote full of extension cords, power strips with surge protectors and multi-plugs ends specifically for generators. Yeah, that's the way to do it. Could be a lot of Baofeng radios are type C charging cord. Yes. Yeah, that's what these 17s are, a type C. And that's one of the things. I am so tickled that Baofeng started putting that to where you could charge those with a type C instead of having to put them in the cradle the whole time or take the battery off and charge the battery. They've done a lot of good stuff with that, with their charging here lately. And the Duracell pack at Costco is good enough for most issues. Yeah, I've got, I bought one and I've got to find it. I've got an anchor right here. I bought one of these little jokers. This is an anchor. I don't know exactly what model it is. Let's see. This is the Anchor 548 power bank. It's 192 watt hours. It's got USB. It's got a plug right here that you can charge it with solar panels. It's got a pop-up light on it. This joker is not heavy at all. I mean, it's not going to run 120 volt stuff, but it's a pretty cool little deal. It's going to charge some cell phones. It's going to charge a tablet, some stuff like that. It can charge batteries like your AA and AAA batteries. It can charge those if you got the rechargeable ones. And I think I bought that thing. I think it was like 70 or 80 bucks. Got it on Amazon. It's a super cool little thing. And Bill also says an assortment of links is really helpful too. I have from 10 to 100 foot. Yeah. I've got a lot of 100-foot cords and different gauges. I've got all the way up from 16 gauge to 10 gauge. And I've got everything from like 25-foot to 100-foot cords. Forrest says, I've heard these days plumbers don't even bring all the parts to the job site. Yes, it's like, dude, you're coming to put a dishwasher in, you didn't bring a damn supply line. It's like, and then the thing is, like, they want to charge you extra because they forgot stuff. And it's like, no, you're not charging me extra because you forgot something. I'm not paying you another hour round trip for what these people are charging. I'm like, that's on you, Bubba. You knew you were down there hooking the sink up last week and you did all the plumbing. You knew you needed a supply line for it and your dumb ass didn't bring it. That's not my fault. You're eating that deal. Newman says, I plan on taking plumbing courses at the community college. Hubby is an electrician. Well, Newman, if you get that, you get the plumbing stuff down, your husband's an electrician, then you're set. You're going to save the plumbers. What is it? Plumbers here are charging, I think it's $130 an hour is what they're charging for service stuff. So you kind of got to watch that. And then my brother is texting me again. All right. And Newman says YouTube chat is messing with her. Bill says, I have drywall repairs to do in our house. The roofer is crazy busy and hasn't gotten to the roof yet. My least two favorite things to do is insulation and drywall. I do a lot of drywall work. It is stupid the amount of drywall work I do, and I hate it, but it's like a necessary evil that I do it all the time. Let me see. All right. All right. Another one. Food prep. Who has got? We've got all kinds of stuff prepped for food. We've got tons of canned goods. We've got all that stuff. Who's got manual can openers? And that's plural, not just one can opener, but can openers. Who's got those? I mean, I've got the big number 10, the big crank ones. I've got those. I've got smaller ones. We got the small military ones. Tons of options on opening cans. Manual kitchen tools. It's all cool to have the new big Bosch mixer and the big KitchenAid mixer and all that stuff. But who's got the little hand mixer like grandma used to have for mixing stuff up? Aluminum foil. You got a bunch of aluminum foil to cover stuff up with. Salts, pepper, garlic, all your spices. Do you have a bunch of that stuff? I eat a ton of garlic, so we buy garlic. I mean, the biggest boxes we can find and places we get that. Ziploc bags. Ziploc bags are indispensable. You can do so much stuff with Ziploc bags. I mean, Sam's has got like an assortment of Ziploc bags. You know, you get the big gallon bags all the way down to the little bitty snack bags. And every time I'm in Sam's, I buy one of those. It's like there's always Ziploc bags, paper plates, cups, silverware, disposable silverware. Have all that kind of stuff. You know, that's gonna, if you're using paper plates and cups, yes, it's going to cost you some money. They're disposable, but then the thing is, you don't have to waste water cleaning that stuff up. You can take that stuff out, put it in a burn barrel and burn it. So look at that stuff. Getting, can openers, manual kitchen tools, more aluminum foil, more salts and spices, more Ziploc bags, and more paper plates and cups. Newman says, my ignorance showing what is awful about doing drywall. I understand insulation. I like rock wool. Drywall is just dusty and nasty. So, and you get dust all over you, and it's just not super, super fun. Let's see. L2 Survive. I know Glenn Tate and Shelby Gallagher. I have a bunch of can openers and zip ties. Yeah. Newman says, I have manual can openers. Never liked the electric ones. Yeah, I'm the same way. I don't even know if we've got an electric one or not. And Bill says, I have old military style can openers. They make the small ones and the large ones. The hand mixer is a fork and a whisk. Yeah. And Greg is right too. Cast iron lasts forever and cooks anywhere. Yeah, we've got a bunch of cast iron. I used our small cast iron skillet. I had a leftover ribeye, and I heated it up in that. I grabbed the cast iron, threw that joker on there, and heated the ribeye up. And that's what I had for dinner last night. So we use cast iron a bunch. And yeah, Newman says Ziplocs are the best. So now we've got, since we've been talking about fixing stuff at the house and everything, fixing and holding things together. This is some stuff. Everyday items to fix stuff. I mean, you're looking at duct tape. You can fix all kinds of stuff with duct tape. And the real good stuff like the Gorilla Tape, I mean, that stuff is amazing on what you can do with it. It will darn near stick to anything. Zip ties. L2 Survive said zip ties. Yes, have a huge supply of zip ties. I keep zip ties, all different sizes zip ties in my truck. We've got tons of zip ties down in the shop. I've probably got some down here. And I'll tell you a cool secret on zip ties. Most people, when they get a pack of zip ties, they tear the top off and to where they can get in there and get the zip ties. But then if you turn it the wrong way, the zip ties fall out. If you've got a pack of zip ties, and let me see. All right, we'll use this. Like if you've got a pack of zip ties, do not open it from the end. Take it right in the center and cut a slit. Cut a slit right in the center of the package. Just a small, like 1 inch or 2 inch slit in the package. And then what you can do is reach in and grab a zip tie as you need it, and they won't fall out. That's an electrician hack that somebody showed me, and I'm like, where has this been all my life? It's like, that's great. So yeah, just take a slit in the center of the package, and then you reach in and just grab what you need, and they won't ever fall out on the end. All right, zip ties. We got that. Rope, paracord, cordage, something to tie stuff off. Nails and screws. I mean, you got to have, I've got so many nails, screws, bolts, stuff like that. Have all that kind of stuff. Also have ratchet straps. Ratchet straps are indispensable on holding stuff and doing stuff like that. Get ratchet straps. Also glue and adhesives, have, what is it? Loctite, I think Loctite, or some of the caulking tubes, they're adhesive caulks. Have a bunch of that stuff on hand. All right. The last one, the last segment or the last part that I've got is health and comfort stuff. You're looking how, OTC medicines. Have a ton of over-the-counter medicines on hand. Your Tylenol, your Advil, your Aleve, sinus medicine, allergy medicine, stuff like that. Thermometers. How many people have backup thermometers? When I buy, Greg says chocolate. Yes, have a ton of chocolate. Thermometers. How many people have like thermometers in their house? I know down here, downstairs, in my prep room, I've probably got a dozen thermometers. I've got electric thermometers and the old mercury style thermometers. I've got those. So look at it. Extra toothbrushes and toothpaste. Have tons of extra toothbrushes and toothpaste. I've got tons of those. I wait till they go on sale and we just load up, and I've got a drawer that's got toothbrushes and toothpaste in the filing cabinets. That's another thing. If you're going to store a bunch of stuff, go to surplus auctions like the county auction when they're selling stuff. Go there and buy filing cabinets. You can get filing cabinets for like $5 to $10 to maybe $15. And filing cabinets are crazy nice for storing stuff. Just I take painter's tape and put on the front a piece of painter's tape and write what's on there. Ziploc bags, or write on there chocolate supply, or emergency chocolate supply, whatever you're going to store in there. Those are great for storing stuff. Look about glasses and contacts. Have extra glasses, have extra contacts stored up. Chapstick. Keep a bunch of chapstick, Carmex, something like that. Also, beef tallow will work on your lips too. Socks and blankets and underwear. You know, do you have enough socks, blankets, and underwear to hold you out for a while? You know, it's almost Christmas time, and all the men are like, hey, you see a picture of it. There's one guy put something somewhere. It's like this old nasty pair of underwear, and it's like, hopefully they'll hold out for another 2 days till Christmas. You know, and the joke is, the men always get socks and underwear for Christmas. Go buy a bunch of socks and underwear and have that sitting there for everybody in the family. And if you've got kids that are growing, don't just buy what size they're in right now. Buy the next 2 sizes up so they'll have it. Just backups for underwear and socks. And blankets also. Have all kinds of blankets. Best stuff is wool blankets. Get a ton of wool blankets. And Newman says chocolate is essential. It's called therapeutic chocolate. And Cut V, the best place to buy bulk bolts is TSC. Yeah. Yeah, Bill, that's what I was talking about, putting the hole in the bag, and then you don't have where they'll slide out everywhere. So, guys, it's not huge stocking stuff and everything. It's stocking stuff that you need all the time. It's not about hoarding. It's about having stuff that you're going to use and about a margin on it. Buy duplicates of stuff, not upgrade stuff. You know, and instead of having one thing of Ziploc bags, buy 2 things of Ziploc bags, because you're just going to use it, and it's going to save you money in the long run. First, you're not going to have to run to the store when you need it. You can get that stuff when you're already in town and you're not making an unnecessary trip. And also, with the way prices are going up, you can buy it at today's prices and use it tomorrow when it's more expensive. Rotate your stuff out. Keep a list and rotate that stuff. When you're getting low, you're like, oh, I'm getting low on this stuff. Maybe I need to grab some more. Spread your supplies. Don't keep everything in one spot. We've got, through the whole house, we've got supplies spread out, which is a good deal. We've got supplies down in the shop also. So just spread your supplies out. And then keep the backups where you're at too. If you've got an office job and you're at the office all the time, keep some backups at your office. Keep some backups in your truck. Keep some backups maybe at your parents' house or a buddy's house. Keep some backups there. You never know. And Forrest says, I wasted money buying things I thought I needed versus buying more of what I always use. Yeah, I mean, that sums it up. It's like, buy the stuff that you're going to use all the time. There's certain things in our house that we go through a lot of, so we always got stock of that. And it's like, ooh, we're getting low on this. We need to buy more because we know we're always going to use that stuff. So, guys, that's all I've got. I'm going to be back on here in like 11 hours. So, guys, I appreciate y'all being in here. Hit the thumbs up button. Share it out. I appreciate it a bunch. I've got to go take care of the plumber that is at my brother's house that my brother's worried about. So we'll see how this goes. But guys, I will give you an update at 8 o'clock tonight. Shelly and I will be on here at 8 o'clock Central tonight to do the Homestead HQ podcast. But guys, I appreciate you being here. And I'll talk to y'all in 11 hours. Y'all have an awesome day. And if I don't see you tonight, have a Merry Christmas. And I will be on here Friday morning, the day after Christmas. I'm not working that day. So we're going to hang out Friday morning and we'll talk about all the awesome Christmas presents. I want to know what everybody got for Christmas on Friday. Guys, be careful and have a good day and have a Merry Christmas. See y'all.